bolster. Very funny. And I want to thank you all for letting me be part of your night here. I met Tom Folliard backstage. I want to thank him. And I want to thank all of you people from CarMax for letting me be part of your events. So, yeah, man. And we got people from all over here. A lot of people flying in. I flew in myself. I got a little question for you. How come the first-class people can board whatever they want? What is that all about, you know? First-class people, board at your leisure. Take your time, first-class people. Coach people, no wait, sit, scuzz. Wait, little piggies. So when you do get on the first-class people, they're already sitting there. They're all sprawled out in their big thrones. Bring me the head of a pig. And a goblet of something cool and refreshing. Of course, now I'm realizing you probably all flew in at first class. All right. I'll switch the dynamic of the joke. What's with those morons in coach? What are they doing back there? I don't know. Just trying to get through life without looking like an idiot. It's not working out too good.
Sure not.
You know the ultimate in looking like an idiot is when you walk into a spider web.
I know this.
Because nobody else sees the spider web. They just see you walking off in the distance, suddenly flipping out for no reason whatsoever. Just walking along. Hey, did you see that guy? He just snapped. He was walking along, he just went nuts near that tree. Well, I just put my foot in my mouth. I met this woman recently. I could have sworn she was pregnant.
Well, I know now.
You weren't all there to help me. I think the rule is don't guess at that ever. But I didn't have enough evers memorized. So I said, hey, what's that baby do? You ever feel a word coming up, but it's too late to stop it? It's coming out and loud. Hey, what's that baby do? Baby! What baby? At the zoo, the pandas. I knew they were trying to have one. So we'd say hello, start talking about them. Have you ever got somebody's gender wrong? There's no recovery from that. Just gotta move on. You ain't making that car sad. Yeah, excuse me, sir. Man, okay. Let me go get another salesperson. You guys got to be good with names, horrible with names. That's why I like when you go to a function and everybody has to wear a name tag, you know. But this is way too far from where you need it. Oh, you guys got them down here? That's even worse. Because then everybody knows you're going for it, you know. So how you doing there? Halo Minamus. I tried a weird trick one time. Don't try this. I was at a party and there was a guy there whose name I was supposed to know, but I couldn't remember it. And I kept thinking it was Winston, which is not the kind of name you want to gamble at, you know? It's a big roll of the dice. Hey, Winston! So I grabbed another friend of mine. I said, do me a favor. I want you to pretend like your name is Winston. All right, you see that guy there? I want you to walk to the other side of that guy, but in the exact straight line, past him. And I'm going to go, hey, Winston! And if the guy in the middle goes, yeah, then you just walk away. Your assignment is complete at that point. But if he looks at me like he's confused, I want you to go, yeah? And then I'll talk to you again, I guess. So my friend thinks I'm weird, but he wants to do this. So he goes to the other side of the guy, and I go, hey, Winston! And the guy in the middle looks like he's confused. So I look at my friend, and he goes, my name's Winston! Terrific! I was looking for any random Winston. Your name's Winston? Come on over, let's have a conversation. In a little while, I'll be wanting to speak with a Gwendolyn. If that's your name, get ready. I'll be making the announcement shortly. I'm terrible at parties, man. You ever walk up to a group of people and then instantly find out that they're talking about something that's way over your head? I never know what to do in that situation, you know? I wish I knew how to say, I don't know what you're talking about. May I still stand here? I walked up to these people recently. It's a true story. They were talking about art. And I don't know anything about art. So, of course, I said, oh, I love art. Go back! Well, what museums have you been to? I have to go home now. I couldn't think of one museum name, and I had just released I Love Art like a flock of doves. But I had remembered that I read about a museum in France or something. So I figured I'm lying anyway. I might as well lie to get out of that first lie. There's nothing smarter than that technique. So I said, well, I was in Paris at the Louvre. Do you like Monet? I love Monet. In fact, I spent a lot of Monet when I was in Paris. Well, what's your favorite Cézanne? Winter. Do you like Francis Bacon? I prefer Jimmy Dean pure pork sausage. Pure pork. How do you decide if art is any good, you know? Who's in charge of that? Realistic art you can tell, because you can compare it to the real thing. Hey, there's a painting of a bowl of fruit. Hey, there's a real bowl of fruit. That's a great painting. Looks just like a bowl of fruit. Everybody agrees and you move on. Man, that guy can paint some fruit. That looks just like an apple. But abstract art, you know, who decides if that's good or not? Like Picasso, he puts two eyes on the same side of the face. And if I were judging, I'd have to take points off. Pablo, look around. Does anyone have two eyes on the same side of the face? No, hence the low score. And people say, well, that's just it, Brian. He sees things differently. Well, then he shouldn't be painting. Might want to give him a camera because he's not even close on these images. Trying, I don't know. I've been to 3 different ballets, and I loved trying to learn how to like those a little bit. But they all seem like the same story. So I wrote a ballet, and I'm going to submit it as soon as I figure out who you submit these things to. This is the ballet I wrote. This man meets this woman, and he wants to marry her, but he can't marry her because she's already getting ready to marry somebody else. So they all dance around for a couple hours. And I put in parentheses, do a lot of flips and stuff. I've been to one opera. I like that. I don't know if anybody here's ever been to an opera. 3 of you. Terrific. Let's ride this energy train. Okay. Well, I've been to that opera, and I liked it. I just didn't know what was going on. It was like another language, you know? So I wish you would have an interpreter come out between the lyrics so you could follow the story, you know? Like the big guys out there. He kind of likes her. But she's really not paying any attention to him or anything. something about his boot and a radiator. I wish I knew another language, you know? I wish I knew one language. I wish I was unilingual. I know a little Spanish. I grew up in Miami, Florida. You have a Florida? There you go. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, I grew up in South Florida. And, yeah, it's cool, man. I got a ride home. So I learned a little Spanish when I was down there. But I never saw any of the phrases applied that we learned, you know? We never went to downtown Miami where the older Cuban men who played dominoes and drink Cuban coffee and smoke cigars, you know, they weren't saying the stuff that we had learned in Spanish class, you know? There are many books in the library. The tractor is ready. I have a canary, and it is pretty. It's good to know, you know, another language, get you out of certain situations. I had a thing happen to me recently. I felt kind of stupid. I went through the Burger King drive-thru, and I got talked into buying a franchise in Pensacola, Florida. I didn't know what happened. I'm at the window. Yeah, I'd like a hamburger. Would you like franchise with that? Y Pensacola? Yes, I would. But I had a coupon. 50 cents. Went through another drive-thru. Felt stupid. I ordered a cheeseburger, and the guy goes, drive around. So, I go back like a half hour later. These jokes aren't for everybody. I do them one market at a time. I had little Fort Lauderdale jokes, and now I'm working my way back to Dallas. Too hard to get a whole room. I expect that of me. Dallas, I like Dallas. If you've ever flown, I flew into Dallas, Fort Worth, and I figured out why they call it that. If you've ever been there, what you do is you land in Dallas, and then you taxi in the plane all the way to Fort Worth. I don't think I've ever been on a plane, on the ground, so long in my life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DFW. Sit back and relax. We're about to begin meal service. Got about a 35-minute ride to the terminal. I was talking about the Metroplex in Dallas. Every time I was there, check out the Metroplex. I didn't realize that was the whole area. I was in it's a true story. I was in a 7-Eleven in Dallas, and I asked the guy, I said, the guy that worked there, can you tell me where the Metroplex is? And the guy goes, well, this is it right here. A lot of talk about this place. I wish I had a joke for every city. Nashville. When I fly into Nashville, if there's somebody there helping me with the luggage, they go, you know, what bag is yours? And I say, mine's the one not shaped like a guitar. I'm already giving up on the whole room. I'm going city by city. Phoenix. I flew into Phoenix. They call the airport there Sky Harbor. and I had a window seat, and I was so lucky because when we were arriving, I looked out, I had a wonderful view of the harbor. There's no harbor there, but that's just for the Phoenix people to enjoy. Chicago. I like landing in Chicago because in Chicago, they give you the tiniest legal layover possible in the airline industry. I don't know what the minimum is, but you get out at the airport. The reason they call the airport O'Hare is because you run out of the terminal and they go, O'Hare! O'Hare, come on! You get to 27B! You get off at 8A1 and you got to go to Z14 and you got 9 minutes. O'Hare, come on! My first time in Chicago, I grew up in Miami, Florida, and call back. I'm looking over here and I'm worried. I don't have any Sacramento jokes, or I'm going to stick with this side for now. Landed in, my first time in Chicago, I grew up in Miami, Florida, and the weather in my... I got a surefire round of applause. I just keep... And I lived for a little while in Atlanta. But that was before I moved to Richmond. Yeah. But we used to vacation in Sacramento. That was our favorite. Terrific. And the weather in Miami was always either just going to... Where I grew up, and it really doesn't matter where I grew up, it's sort of a vague thing. It didn't snow where I grew up, and it could be anywhere. It could be any place on earth. But the first time I went to Chicago, they had, for the weather forecast, they put on the weather a picture of a big, mean, blue cloud going. I'm like, what the hell's going on Thursday? All Thursday I'm walking around. Anybody seen him yet? He was on the weather last night. You guys are very nice. I mean that. You have a kindness about you, I can tell. You have people here with kids? Yeah? Parents? Yeah. I have 2 wonderful kids.
And another kid.
And another kid. No, I've got 2 kids. I'm joking. 2 kids. They're both wonderful. I love being a daddy. I like to read to my kids. You're supposed to read to them. And I don't know who's writing books for babies, but I want to get a piece of that financial pie. I put my daughter on my lap with this big cardboard book, The Clock. The Big Clock. Tick-tock. Hey, it's ticking. The end. $12. And there's a synopsis on the back that is longer than the actual book, and I'm not exaggerating. Sit down with your children and you will be delighted as you read about the adventures of the ticking clock. Sometimes it goes tick, and sometimes it goes talk, which just goes to show you never can be too sure in life, because sometimes things are one way, but they are about to change. Are you talking about this book? I'm talking about this book. Yeah, my kids are beautiful. I love being a daddy. I was not a good student when I was a kid. You know, you might be able to gather that from my act, but I was kind of dumb. But at least nobody else knew until the spelling bee. Remember that day? All right, kids, up against the wall. It's time for public humiliation. Spell a word wrong, sit down in front of your friends. That's great for little egos. Hey, look at me, I'm a moron. I wasn't even close. I was using numbers and stuff. That's why I admired the kid who spelled it wrong on purpose so he could sit down. He knew he wasn't going to win, so why stand there for 3 hours? First round, cat, K-A-T, I'm out of here. Then as he passed you, I know there's 2 T's. I couldn't spell. I remember my teacher asking me, Brian, what's the I before E rule? I before E, always. What are you, an idiot, Brian? Apparently. So she explains it for me. No, Brian, it's I before E, except after C, and when sounding like A. It's a neighboring way. And on weekends and holidays and all throughout May, and you'll always be wrong no matter what you say. That's a rough rule. Plurals were hard too. Brian, how do you make a word a plural? You put an S. You put an S at the end of it. When? At the end of it. You put it at the end. No, let me show you. So she asked this kid who knew everything. Erwin, what is he plural for? Ox. Oxen. The farmer used his oxen. Brian, what? Brian, what's the plural for box? Boxen. I bought 2 boxes of donuts. No, Brian. Let's try another one. Erwin, what is he plural for? Goose. Geese. I saw a flock of geese. Brian, what? Brian, what's the plural for? Moose. Moosin. I saw a flock of moosin. There are many moosin, much of them in the woods. In the wood is. In the wood it is. In the wood it is. The meats for hungry eating the foods in the wood it is. Meats for hungry eating the food in the wood it is. Brian, you're an imbecile. Imbecilin'. What are you speaking German, Brian? German, Jermaine. Jermaine Jackson. Jackson 5, Tito. Brian, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know. Worst day of school was the day the science project was due. Waking up that morning, that was fun, huh? Your head would pop off your pillow. Oh no. That's due today. I had 9 months to work on and I did nothing. I have a cardboard box. A boxing. You'd show up, you don't have anything good, and you find out all the other kids, their parents made theirs for them. I hated that. They're backing in on flatbed trucks. One kid with a volcano. He didn't have to zip up his own pants when he built a volcano. How did you swing that? And there was a kid with the solar system. Bunch of styrofoam balls held together with coat hangers. Hey, you're breaking some new ground there, Copernicus. Yeah. He's going, the big yellow one's a sun. The big yellow one's a sun. What are these other plants? The big yellow one's a sun. The yellow one. All right, calm down. Calm down. The big yellow, right! I don't know what to do for my project, so I just brought in a paper cup just filled with dirt. Hoping she'd know I'm an idiot and just walk right on past me. Just as long as I was holding something. But she stopped right in front of me. What do you have there, Brian? It's a cup of dirt. Just put an F on there and let me go home. Well, explain it. Well, it's a cup with dirt in it. And I call it cup of dirt. I think you guys had a pretty good meal here, I would assume. Yeah, it's cool. I gotta watch what I'm eating. I just had my annual physical and my doctor. I don't know about you, but that's the only time I ever feel like a kid is when I go to the doctor. You didn't do what I told you, did you? No, I didn't. What should you have done? I should have listened when you were talking to me. Yeah? What are you going to do from now on? Pay attention when you say things. And when are you going to start? I'm going to start right now. Start immediately. Yeah. He told me to read food labels. So I was in the store, I was reading the Fig Newtons label. I've always liked Fig Newtons. I thought, well, maybe it's okay to eat them. Everything looked pretty good, the fat content and everything. I looked at the serving size, 2 cookies. Who eats 2 cookies? I ate Fig Newtons by the sleeve. 2 sleeves is a serving size. I open them both and eat them like a tree chipper. Fig Newton shavings coming off the side. And I put a Newton catcher and emptied that bag out like a snack. 2 Fig Newtons. Are they out of their minds? I don't know who's coming up with serving sizes, but a serving size of ice cream is a half a cup. What is that? Is that like a joke some guy put on there? Hey, come here. Look what I put for the serving size. I just did it as a joke, but they're going out like that. I don't know what to do. There's nothing you can do now. There's nothing you can do. I think a serving size of ice cream is when you hear the spoon hit the bottom of the container. You know, it's like, I even rip the side and I go, I'm not sure what they're talking about. But you guys got a good company here, man. You guys are exploding, and I'm proud of all of you. I think that's wonderful. That's great. There's a lot of companies out there doing their thing. I used UPS recently. They're a good service. But you have to have information ready before you call them, and I had no idea. I called them up. We were trying to move, and I had these boxes. Yeah, how you doing? I've got 10 boxes. If you come pick them up, we need to know the weight and the girth. Okay, goodbye. So I called back, we need the weight and the girth. Okay, I don't know what the weight is, and I don't know what girth means. So now what's the procedure? So this guy talks to me like I'm 4 years old. Well, do you have a bathroom scale? Yeah, but if I put the box in the scale, it's going to cover up the numbers. What do I take them off really quick? 0, I'm not fast enough. What the hell's he talking about? So then he gives me like his Mr. Wizard formula. How about if you stand on the scale and weigh yourself, get off the scale, pick up the box, get back on, weigh you and the box together and subtract your own weight. I'm going, slow down. Hold on, Professor. I know this guy's never tried this because I tried it, and you still can't see the numbers. What am I, Mr. Olympia? 3 pounds. Then I had to hang up in the middle of his girth formula. He kept assuring me that it was easy. You know, the girth is very simple to figure out. You take the length and you double that by the smaller of the hypotenuse after you triangulate. Okay, I gotta go. Yeah, I'm getting another call. Yeah, I'm too stupid to talk to you. So this is true. I figured I would just call back and just make up some numbers and let them come out and pick them up. And if it's wrong, I'll pay the difference. Just get the truck rolling, please. So I called back, yeah, I've got 10 boxes and, no, I'm another guy. Yeah, and they all weigh exactly 22 pounds, and they all have a girth of 3. 3 what? 3 girth units. Come pick them up, please. I'm begging you. They're boxes, and they're brown, and they have tape all on them. And they'll probably fit on a dolly. My memory's going. I'm not making this up. Every once in a while, the microwave will ding, and I'll have no idea what the hell's in there. What kind of short-term memory problem is that? Choo-choo. Ah, macaroni and cheese. And I like that. I like checking the mystery box. Well, you guys have been cool. I've enjoyed being here with you. How much longer are you guys here for? How long? Tonight's the last night. Well, I hope you're having an okay time. I hope you're enjoying your stay here in Las Vegas. And I'll leave you with this. I just moved recently in this neighborhood with, and they have a dog in the neighborhood that barks like at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't understand people's dogs that do that. You know, like you just 3 in the morning, it's dead silence, and then you just hear. And right when you think it's done,